Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making hamburger helper, okay? So this is everything you'll need. Ground beef. I got some elbow pasta, my favorite kind. Beef broth. You're going to be needing some tomato paste, or you could use tomato sauce, or you could use ketchup. I like to use both. I have some cheddar cheese in there, some leftover cheddar cheese that I'm gonna go ahead and use. You can use whatever kind of cheese you like, Kobe Jack. I like triple cheddar. It's really nice and creamy, so I went ahead and used triple cheddar. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put your pot on low. And I want to go ahead and point out that this is going to be a one pot meal. So what you're going to do is you're going to be incorporating the pasta into the pot with the water. Okay, so if you love pasta and you make pasta, you know that you usually boil your water before you put the pasta in there. But you're not going to do that this time. You're going to put the pasta in with the water and the ground beef and the beef broth as soon as you're done cooking it. As soon as you're done cooking the ground beef. So you're going to go ahead and cook the ground beef down just enough. Well, cook it down all the way. I'm sorry. Cook the ground beef down all the way until it's nice and brown. And then at that point, then you will be adding your tomato sauce. I just went ahead and seasoned this with some garlic powder, onion powder, and just a little bit of Lorry's. You don't need too much seasoning. Try not to make it too much seasoning because the beef broth is already going to be kind of salty. Okay, so if you looked around in your pantry and you're just now looking at this, maybe you're looking up some easy weeknight dinners and you realize that you don't have any beef broth, if you have beef bouillon, that works too. You can do four. You can do 2 cups of water and 1 cube of beef bouillon, and that'll give it the same taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cook my ground beef down until it's brown, and then I'm gonna add my tomato sauce and my ketchup to it. Okay guys, so my beef is done and I'm gonna go ahead and add my tomato sauce and my ketchup. Okay, so guys, I think that was like a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I think I put about 6 ounces in there. And you're gonna go ahead and let this cook down. Let it cook, simmer in the pot for a little bit. Let the ground beef soak up some of that tomato sauce and ketchup, and then you're gonna go ahead and put in your pasta along with a cup of water, a cup of beef broth, and if you wanted to add any vegetables to this meal, you can absolutely do so. I was in a rush, so I did not add a lot. That's why I just did the meat, the pasta, and the cheese. So that I can, and this is for my babies. If I did not mention that, this is for my babies. That's another reason why I wasn't too quick to add a bunch of vegetables, because as you can see, I do not have a big pot of meat right here. Okay, so this is a very scarce pot. So my kids, they're like vultures when it comes down to, like, they can sense the vegetables in the food. So for this particular meal, I just went ahead and did the meat, the sauce, and the pasta. and it still turned out super delicious. But if I were to suggest any vegetables, red onions in this is delicious. When I'm not in a rush, I make it with red onions and bell peppers, and it is off the chain. Okay, so now that my everything is cooked down, I'm gonna add 1 cup of pasta. Now I just had some leftover pasta here. I had some leftover elbow pasta, and it's in a Ziploc bag. Because I don't like to just when I open my pasta, I don't like to just leave it in the box. That's weird to me. So I put it in a Ziploc bag so that it's nice. It stays nice and fresh. So that's 1 cup of pasta, and then I'm gonna add a cup of beef broth. And behind the beef broth, I'm going to add a cup of water. Now, I could have done 2 cups of beef broth, but I don't want it too salty here. Okay? I don't want it too salty. Now, to each his own. If you want to add 2 cups of beef broth, be my guest. If you buy the low sodium beef broth, you should be good on the salt, on the sodium. But I went ahead and did the mix of the beef broth and the water because I don't want it too salty. So as you can see, everything is mixed. And now I'm going to turn my fire up just a little bit so that it can start to cook and boil. And the pasta will basically soak up the water, making it making it swell, making it that one pot meal that you're expecting. So go ahead and let that cook. And the cook time is not a lot. I would say I cooked this for about 20 minutes. I cooked this for about 20 minutes on medium heat. Okay, guys, so as you can see, this is what it's going to look like when it starts to cook down. You can kind of see the pasta, kind of see the meat, but it has a little bit more to go. So what you want to do is you want to leave a nice amount of that juice, of that meat from the juice from the cooking in the pot, because you want it to have that nice creamy texture. So leave just a little bit of that juice in there and put the fire on real low. And this is how it should look. You see a little bit of juice. That's all you want. Just a little bit, just enough to move that cheese around in there and make it nice and creamy. So I'm going to go ahead and dump all of my triple cheddar in there because I don't have a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump all of it. I think there's about a quarter of a bag. I'm going to say a little bit more than a quarter. A little bit more than a quarter. Not half, a little bit less than half, but a little bit more than a quarter. So you basically just want to stir it up. I didn't use a lot of cheese. What I realized when I was putting that cheese in there was I had way more in that triple cheddar craft bag than I thought. So you want to mix it up, and you see how the juice is kind of helping me move that cheese around a little bit. So when I think about if you had cooked down all the juice, it would be kind of hard to get that cheese, melted and mixed in there. So you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of juice. And this is how it should look, guys. Nice and creamy. And look at that. Don't that look like some hamburger helper out the box, but better? Yes, ma'am. That looks delicious. It was delicious. It was delicious and creamy. And, man, my babies tore up. My youngest one had 2 bowls. Had 2 bowls full. And he's a fat one, so I expected that. But, yes, it was delicious. And I only seasoned it up with a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and some Lorry's. I know y'all saw that. I ain't even gonna act like you ain't see that far. It was good too. I just ate that. It was good. Okay, guys, and I hope you like this recipe. I highly suggest adding the red onions. I regret not adding the red onions to this one, but I was in such a rush. I just wanted to cut down on my cook time. Then I had to videotape, and then I made a different meal for me and my husband versus for my children because my husband is lactose intolerant. So I try not to make meals with cheese unnecessarily if I don't have to. So this is how it should look, and hopefully you guys love this recipe as much as I love it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And there it is. Okay, guys. That's the result. This is what your homemade hamburger helper should look like. And it literally looks exactly like homemade helper with the little chunks of ground beef. And all right, guys. Hope you like this recipe. And I'll see you guys later. This is literally, I want to say, this is like a 15-minute meal. Add 5 to 10 minutes for the prep time, which was the stuff cooking and getting all the ingredients. But this is a really short meal, and it's super easy and tastes delicious. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later.